Oh, my heavens. You're here on a wonderful night, an exciting night, an infinite night, if I may say. And, of course, I am your host, Mr. Darrell Coob. That's right, Coob, book backwards, Smith. And, of course, I have a co-host here, and his name is Mr. Chris Picard. But tonight, we have Mr. Tony Stark with us. That's right. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. It is
How you doing?
Iron Jerk.
I'm here.
He's here.
I'm here to grace you with my presence.
Give him a mask.
I'm very happy to be here, by the way.
And I am too, sir.
It's a pleasure, sir, as always.
It's always an honor. It's
Thank you for
a
having
privilege. All yours, of course.
Yeah, if you say so.
Is that a comfortable mask, sir?
It's fairly comfortable. I feel pretty good at it.
Okay, so
whether I'll last the entire show, that's the question.
If you suffocate throughout the course of the show,
well, then you're gonna have to do a lot more talking.
I'll just have to do the whole show by myself.
Yeah, you might have to.
Let's face it, I can do that.
It's already a little toasty in here, so let's do this.
In my sleep, I can do that. Anyway, we'd like to once again say hello to some of our slime-ridden vermin who do show up from time to time each week. Ladies and gentlemen, the one nerd is here.
We're very happy to see you, Mr.
I'd like to give the one nerd a brief round of applause, if we might, because, you know, he's always an exciting one to see.
We enjoy our chat audience.
Yes, indeed, we do.
It's very nice to see them.
Well, it is another night of incredible film nerdish reviews that we do in our, you know, because that's what we do. That's why we come here. That's why we're here, because we love to go into cinemas, don't we, Chris?
I couldn't agree more.
You know, we like to go into that vast silver screen, that rectangular, angular, that visionary of darkness. That we go in and we sit down and we gaze lovingly up there at that screen. At least I do.
I do too.
I do, and I'm always, my most apprehensive, my most enjoyable moment in going to the theater is sitting there before the film has even started.
I agree.
And I'm just in awe. What will I see? What filmmaker's vision will patrol these eyes and make me sing within my own little orgasmic shell of a crusty, scum-drenched human?
It's my favorite moment of any time. Walking into that theater, you don't know what you're going to expect. You get your seat, you get the good seat.
Exactly.
And you just
seat.
Yeah,
not just a seat.
A good seat.
You get the good seat.
You got to get good seats.
What if you don't get the good seat?
I remember the days of seat stress, having to save seats for like large groups when you go with large people. Let's say you're going to go with like 8 to 10 friends. I used to be in charge of getting all the seats for us because I didn't trust anybody else to do it.
Did anybody get any of that? I can barely understand a word that he
I thought
said.
that came out very clear.
The one nerd, can you understand him?
If you can't understand, please let us know.
Can you understand Tony Stark? Yeah.
But I will tell you this, it's getting pretty warm, and I'm getting very fogged up, so I think I'm going to reveal myself.
Well, you know, I've always thought you were a pretty fucked up guy.
But I'm bummed. You got your noisemaker over there?
I do indeed.
Maybe I'll start by taking this off.
You could.
I'm disrobing.
Don't undress, please.
I am disrobing.
You don't want to scare
tonight.
The people. Okay, the one nerd heard you perfectly.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, I thought I could be heard.
Okay,
I will be heard. But we do have a great show for everybody tonight. We have a ton of movies.
We do?
We do.
Okay.
Obviously, we're going to start tonight with Avengers, the big movie. What is the total box office right now?
You know, you are a little muffled, though.
Mr. Numberbrain.
The one nerd wants you to keep the mask on.
I'll keep it on for you as long as I can.
As long as he can without suffocating.
Yes. Honestly, the only issue is the fogging.
Giving you some money there.
Thank you.
You know, the one nerd, ladies and gentlemen, you know, mindless.
A very loyal person.
A degenerate of the greatest kind, but, you know, we do appreciate him here. You know, it's like...
I don't think you're a degenerate.
You know, it's like that moldy wart on the bottom of your foot. You know, it just becomes an endearment after a while.
That's how I felt for 13 years. Since I met you, that's how I feel.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean
you're
my
melanoma.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Oh, I got to hotbox it.
You're not going to be able to get it through there. Oh, yeah. You need kind of a, you know, a sleek bong to go through these slits there. Thank you very much. You didn't give it back to me, man.
I handed it to you. You dropped it.
Oh, there it is.
Don't you know what puff pass means?
It can't get up.
Anyway,
all right, let's begin the show.
Well, I just want to give them the rundown. In addition,
we do have a little bit of news as far as the incredible Infinity War.
Oh yeah, that's right. Go with the box office.
And that is the box office. It is now the #1 opening film
of
they are new sunglasses.
All time.
The one that says new sunglasses today. You know, we should just ignore. You know, what he says generally isn't even that entertaining.
Really?
So, yeah, it really isn't.
You're not happy that
really
he's noticed your new shades?
But I'm glad you noticed the new shades.
This man has a shade collection.
I do have a shade collection.
He throws a lot of shades.
I got a lot of shades.
You do.
Because my future's so bright.
Yeah. So,
I gotta wear shades.
You were saying, biggest opening weekend ever, correct?
Biggest weekend of all time.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of course. It's more than a weekend.
Late Thursday as well, right? That's counting now?
That does count, yeah. Late Thursday. Thursday also
That's part
they
of
did
the
about
take.
38 million
Yeah.
on Thursday night, which is phenomenal.
Of course.
But $258 million.
I mean, they're going to make the
Ladies
entire
and
budget
gentlemen.
back in probably 3 weeks. Easy.
Well, they're already
Plus more money, maybe a little longer with marketing.
now they're already up to about in Europe. They did approximately, I think they did over 500 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
in
already
all
almost
of the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's-
internationally speaking.
It's going to gross $1 billion by early June.
By
at the
early
latest.
June, are you kidding me? We're already up to about 6, 7.
It's already 6, 7. Oh, well, then next
600
week
million.
maybe.
No,
you know?
no, we're about 700
And this
right
weekend
now.
coming up there's not going to be anything great opening. It's a
Well,
weaker box
true.
office weekend.
Well,
Deliberately. 'Cause it's,
deliberately.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie is just eating everything else up. So.
Is anybody home?
You know what I need is I need a windshield wiper to go.
Yeah, you do.
But let me just real quick. In addition to Avengers tonight, we have another new release. We have Super Troopers 2. We're going to be reviewing this evening. We have a bunch of stuff that's online, fairly new to Amazon. We have 12 Strong, starring Chris Hemsworth.
Is there any way you could unmuffle that?
No, it honestly nobody has a problem but you. I think it's fine.
I love the movie. I got a censored version in my country.
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool.
We're also going to be doing Hostels with Christian Bale tonight. We're going to be doing Winchester, the ghost drama with Helen Mirren. We're going to also Jason Clarke as well. We're also going to be covering the HBO documentary Andre the Giant, all about the famous wrestler / actor. We're going to be doing Sundogs, which is the Netflix film, and then we're going to do another film, Tulip Fever. And we'll end the night with a flashback. We're going to cover the original Westworld from 1973.
Yeah, we
Since
are.
the new season of the show, the second season is now on HBO. I'm actually not caught up, so no spoilers.
No.
I haven't watched the second episode yet.
All right, that's fine.
But why don't we get right into Avengers? I think that's what people want to see.
People want to hear it. That's what they want to know.
I think
That's
we
what
want
they
to get
hear.
into it.
Maybe because the mic is right next to your face.
Yeah,
That's why-
probably.
Is the mic up inside there?
It's right here.
Oh, so they can hear
They
you
can
fine.
hear you
It's just
fine.
me that I
well,
can't
your
hear.
ears are also full
I
of
see.
potatoes. So.
Yeah, my ears are full of all kinds
gross
of strange
stuff.
little spiders that have crawled
But
out.
you know, I don't think we need to get into the storyline. We all know that
No, I think
basically.
we should get into the
well, it's
storyline.
Thanos
It's about
arriving.
Thanos,
you know,
has come to wreak havoc. He has to collect the
Infinity Stones.
The Infinity. I think there's 8 of them. Is
no,
that correct?
No,
Or is there
there's six.
Infinity
Yeah,
Stones?
1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 6, 5 or 6. I don't remember.
Okay.
They're the MacGuffin.
There's
That's
quite
all that
a-
matters.
There's quite a few. Yeah,
they are
it's
the
just,
MacGuffin.
what he has to do. It's
Yeah.
the search. It is the incredulous journey to find these particular stones. Once he has all the stones, he has entire
Control out of
over
everything.
the universe.
Yeah.
Thanos in Greek means death.
Ah.
6 stones.
And
Right.
Thanos is played by Josh Brolin,
He is
who I
indeed.
thought was excellent.
You know,
he was
he's
well
obviously
cast. I felt.
He's all in a
Bodysuit,
CGI bodysuit this entire film, but just his voice acting, which
Yeah.
is all we're really seeing.
Exactly.
Although we have learned now that the guy who plays the apes, the guy from
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Correct.
Circus.
Circus. SCRKIS.
Okay,
Not
right.
like circus, like let's
Okay.
go to the circus.
Right,
Different
not like
spelling.
that.
Same pronunciation.
Same pronunciation.
Correct.
Okay, very well. But anyway, we know that there is actually some acting to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Facially.
It's
because
physicalities.
They do put. My God, the O Nerd watched Infinity 3 times. That's pretty cool.
That's
I know.
pretty cool.
I know. Is he the one Erd, or is he the O Nerd? I mean, you know, that's the real question here. The hell with Infinity Wars. I just want to know: is he the one Erd or the O Nerd? Doesn't really matter.
Continue with the.
Let's get back to the storyline. So Thanos has basically taken over. He is there to destroy the universe, and so we have all our Avengers have come forth.
With the Guardians of the
Everybody,
Galaxy.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
30 central speaking roles.
30 central, but there
It's
are
crazy.
68. There are 68 total Avengers that are supposedly in this film.
Oh, characters? Yeah, well, there's a lot.
All the Black Panther
supporting
guys
characters,
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh no,
There's
it's
68 of them.
This is one of the most impressive feats of filmmaking that I've seen in a long time. I think the wrangling of not only this very vast and ambitious storyline,
Yeah.
but wrangling all the talent involved on screen, keeping the story and the pace interesting and moving along. Plus, can you imagine the scheduling of getting all these actors to do their scenes? Okay, well, you got 3 scenes here. And I think this film took about, between this and Part 4, which they filmed at the same time,
Okay.
over a year of filming both, just consecutively.
Well, this has been 10 years in the making.
Well, since the original Iron Man in 2008.
Yeah,
that was the
absolutely.
beginning. The building blocks have led to
Absolutely
this
true.
moment. Yeah.
You know, but because of CGI these days, I don't think the same actors have to be in the same scenes at all. They can very well have Iron Man standing right next to. Listen, if they can.
Well,
knock
yeah, but it's
buildings
better
down
if they're in
and,
the same screen.
It
You
is
know what I'm
obviously
saying?
So,
In
but
the same
it's not
frame.
necessary anymore.
No.
They don't have to have all these actors together to do this. We're getting away from the point. The main gist, the actual film that we saw, it was wonderful. I loved it. I truly did love this
As did
film.
I. It was amazing.
Blown away.
Me
I
too.
will say this though. The film is really divided into, I'd say, about 6 different films. We really don't have all the characters together at once.
It's
ever.
6 different narratives, and then they converge.
6 different films running simultaneously.
Yeah.
We have Captain America and the Black Panther clan. We have, and the Hulk is in there too.
Yeah.
Then we have the Marvel Galaxy.
The Guardians and
of the Galaxy.
Thor have
They're
a
in their own
storyline.
little shtick with Tony Stark and the Don Cheadle. And so we have 6 various elements of Marvel worlds coming
We have
together.
Vision and Scarlet Witch, played by Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. They have their little storyline.
Yes, absolutely. Well, they kind of open the film to some extent. They're like the second thing that we see.
And some of the characters come in and out. You know, some like. I don't. Is it a spoiler to say that Chris Evans comes in like 40 minutes in? But it's not really a spoiler. He comes in, but yeah, I mean, some
How
of the.
dare you say that to these people?
I
They
know.
don't want to know.
We're doing
that.
our best to not give away any
You're
spoilers
ruining it
here.
for everyone.
No, but it's truly an incredible film that I have
really
not
is.
felt this entertained in a long time. I just was not to use a pardon the pun, but I was just marveling at this movie.
You were marveling.
I really was.
that's
I was sitting
wonderful.
there just having a really great time watching this film.
know.
It's a blast.
I almost choked on my raisinette.
It's incredible.
Several times throughout the film because I was so blown away.
The
I
one
truly
thought
was.
that I had about this film that I was speaking to with my wife after we saw the film was that, you know, you take. If you think about all the Avengers, all the Marvel movies we've seen up until now, and you think of them as, you know, all little appetizers.
Knock, knock. Who's there? I'm sorry.
It's me. Oh yeah, this thing talks, by the way. Pretty cool, right?
Oh,
Or it makes
wow.
noise.
And your eyes are glowing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I was basically that this film, the Avengers film, is kind of like, if you think about it as an appetizer platter, a sampler platter, this has a sample of everything that you've come to know and love about the Marvel Universe.
Absolutely true.
And it's all there represented in the same way that you are familiar with, and you get a little bit of everything, and it is just so damn entertaining. I loved every minute of this
It was a brilliant
movie.
piece of work, absolutely, no question
Best
about
movie
it.
of the year so far, maybe.
It was
I loved
magnificent.
it.
It'll never be nominated for Best Picture
No.
because it is, in fact, a
I know.
CGI Marvel
But
studio.
it's so well done.
I love the fact that right on the heels of Black Panther, they have another smash.
It's great,
It
yeah.
just goes to show
Yeah.
that the care and love for
I
these
agree.
characters, the care
Yeah.
and love for the script,
Yeah.
the care and love for the CGI. I mean, I did stay, as we all know, at the very end.
There's always
of
the end
all
credit
Marvel
scene.
Films.
Yes.
There's usually 2.
This one had just
There's
one.
one, I know.
Yeah.
And I did stay to the end. Did you?
I did. I always do.
Okay. Well, I don't always.
Let's not reveal what it is, though.
I will
That's a
stay
surprise.
towards the first one, which comes right before the main.
I know what you're
credit.
saying, yeah.
You know, they always have Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pratt.
For a while, it was
And then
just Samuel
before-
Jackson in every single one.
Before we get before we get to the cast,
Yeah.
which is the thing, there's always one big scene.
Yeah.
And they did not do that. We had to wait till the very end.
like 20
of the
minutes,
credits.
yeah.
Well, it wasn't 20.
14
minutes.
maybe.
It was about 14
Yeah.
minutes or so. I mean, you know, the film is 2.5 hours long, and it really basically ends at about 2:15.
Yeah.
It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes, but. I no spoilers here, but I was very disappointed.
Well,
in the final.
It was a very
I was
simple, not much
hoping
going on
that
scene.
It kind of just continued.
Well, like it always does, it gives
a little
you-
bit of the story, but
And it gives you a breadcrumb for another movie, like they all do. They'll give you a little something to hold on
wasn't much
to.
of a breadcrumb. It just simply used the same character.
No,
that
but
they
this one
used
had a
in many-
specific reference to another Marvel movie that will be coming in the future.
Okay, very much so.
But they all do that. That's not a surprise.
It's really a piece of, you know, I sat there in awe because I did stay and watch the entire credits.
Yeah, me too.
14 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
Thank you, the O Nerd, for that bit of triviality.
Thanks for that,
and
buddy.
being one of the most trivial people that we know.
He comes up with incredible bits of entertainment for us here to enjoy on this show. Thank you.
Well,
for
you know what?
that,
He's like
Neil.
doing our research for us.
I know he does indeed, and so grateful that he does. But you know, I sat there watching this massive list of contributing artists.
People,
oh my
yeah.
God.
The amount
There
of
were-
artists involved,
had
yeah.
to be thousands of people.
Of course, yeah.
There were thousands of
in many
people.
different countries, all different companies around the world doing different aspects of the graphic work and the special effects work.
Yeah.
Because there were companies one company was in Brazil, one company
I
was
know.
here, doing
All
little
over the
bits
world.
and
Absolutely.
yeah, there might be one
Massive.
country might just be doing all the shadowing,
A
you know.
massive jigsaw puzzle.
It was incredible.
And just all completely put
And
together.
isn't it amazing they can do it on schedule? Okay, we're gonna have the movie released and it's all done. It's amazing.
It is an amazing
the amount
piece
of work.
And to think that one person or two people or three, you know, how do they literally put all this stuff together?
It's amazing.
I mean, you know, it has to be done by a director. There has to be a director,
Well, this
an
was
editor.
two brothers, the Russo brothers,
Russo
who
brothers,
did.
and
They
I
did the
applaud
last
them.
two Captain America films.
Very.
And they have
Yeah, you know,
obviously.
I didn't love the last two Captain
See, I
Americas
thought they were
so
both
much.
great.
Did you?
I thought all three Captain
Civil
Americas
War,
were
yeah.
solid movies. I
Okay.
loved all three.
I love the first one a lot.
It was great.
When he goes back in time.
Yeah, that was so
and,
cool.
I really did like it. But
I
the
think-
Civil War one I didn't care
Oh,
for so
see, I
much.
enjoyed
Where
that.
he's
See,
beating up Tony Stark. And
I love Chris Evans in this role. I
you?
think he's fantastic as Captain America.
he has a total new look in this
He's
film.
great. Well, yeah, he's grizzled. He's got a beard. He's got a different uniform.
He's got more of the Chris Pratt look almost.
A little bit.
You know, but his
Yeah.
costume is different.
Yeah, a
I mean,
little
I don't
bit.
think that's a spoiler to give that away.
Well, no, but
he's my favorite hero.
Yeah.
Says.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah, it's
and
great.
Mick Pick, thank you for that. It's
Thank you
one
very
of his
much.
favorite
I
Marvel
agree.
movies too. You can't say it's not. This thing is such an overwhelming thing. It's just. You know, from the very beginning, you know, you sit there, you go into a theater, you know you're going to see something fairly amazing because just word of mouth. You know, you always hear, oh, it's scheduled to make, you know,
Blah, 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 blah. Projected, yeah.
amount of money, the projection amount, and it's always because of the buzz feeds and people going into test screenings.
And early
Exactly.
ticket buying too.
Exactly.
That's one of the big measures they have now.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
But you know,
trailer
there's
clicks.
so much testing being done for
yeah.
these films. So it's just an amazing piece of work. And we would love to have you come to America one day from your home in San Francisco or home in California, the O Nerd. But maybe one day he will. I believe he lives in California. I think they decided that he's actually.
He's giving us a little misdirection there, huh?
I think he's a 13-year-old pygmy who lived in Africa, and he moved to
California.
Oh
yeah.
And then he started a Taco Bell out there.
Interesting.
And but anyway, how you doing, the O Nerd? We're always happy to have you.
But back to Avengers briefly. I mean, it's a fantastic
what can you say?
movie.
I mean,
You'll love it if you like the Marvel movies. You're going to love the Avengers. There's no doubt about it.
For everyone to
Yeah.
just to sit here and listen to us talk about. This film is almost anticlimactic because it really is an experience, and everybody
It
out
must be
there,
seen.
You know, you got to see it. It's mind blowing. It's incredible. It's a
very,
piece of
very
work.
impressive.
I would have liked it to be just on the I would like scale. I would have liked it to be a little bit more powerful. You know, some incredible things happen in this film. We have, you know, there are some, and not to spoil, but we lose in our. You know, as the film progresses, we see major characters biting the dust. Well, I hate to use the term dust, actually, because there's a sly reference that I supposedly kind of. It didn't feel long. That's what she said to you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I tell you, that movie flew by. I
really
wasn't
did.
bored for a
No,
second.
I wasn't either.
No.
I
went to a 10 a.m. Sunday morning screening,
Really?
and there wasn't an empty seat in the house.
Yeah.
Packed. Absolutely packed.
I went on Thursday night.
How was
first
that
night,
screening?
Half
What time?
Full, about half full.
What time was the show?
I went to the, I believe it was the 9:30 show.
Okay.
Didn't start till 10 o'clock, and theater was half full. And
See, I think a lot of people still go to the midnight show.
Absolutely.
They
They
love
had a
doing the
2 a.m.
midnight.
show on
I saw
Thursday
that.
night also.
They had 8 o'clock in the morning show on Friday.
I know. Well, they, you know, usually, I remember when Star Wars.
24 hours. The Phantom Menace came out.
Exactly.
I
They
went
had
to
it
a-
all night long.
I went to a 2 a.m. show one time just for the hell of it
Outrageous.
with a friend of mine.
Did you?
And that was my 7th time seeing it.
Okay.
And it was just us and a whole row of old ladies, a couple of them being nuns. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
It was very interesting.
Ain't got none, can't get none,
Yeah.
don't want none.
Don't want none.
I know.
But anyway, without beating a dead horse, anything else you want to say before we move forward?
No, not really. I mean, there's really, it's really just something for everyone to go see.
I agree 100%.
It was just wonderful. It was mind blowing. It was spectacular. It's there, you know, and I hate to hype it so much that you're going to go in being disappointed. But I don't think you're
I
going to
don't
be
think you can
disappointed.
be.
You know,
Unless you're a super comic nerd who's like, I'm gonna hate this movie.
there was a cliffhanger essence to this film, which is not one of my favorite things.
I know, but we kind of knew that because we knew that it was originally going to be a 2-part movie anyway.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, when they announced it, it was going to be Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
I did not
And then
know
they
that.
said the fourth one now is not going to be labeled Infinity War Part 2. It'll
Okay.
just be Avengers 4, whatever, blah, blah subtitle
But
they
it
come up
will
with.
be,
But it's
yeah.
going to be a direct continuation.
Obviously. Well,
Obviously.
It has to be.
Well, yeah,
It
but I'm
has
saying
to
it's probably
continue.
going to be to the moment.
right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Which I like.
The old nerd, I love the movie too.
So we're going to move on now because we
Absolutely.
both love the Avengers.
We
We,
did
adored
indeed,
it. It
and
was
we
a
were
great
almost
film.
a half an hour into the show.
Well, I knew it was going to take some time.
I knew it would take some time,
But
I
honestly,
didn't know.
we're not going to linger on some of these other films.
Okay.
So
Speaking
anyway,
of lingering, we did have Mexican food tonight.
yeah.
And that's why I think you're wearing that mask.
Because I'm concerned what's going to be
You're
lingering.
concerned what is going
Yeah.
to be lingering around your head in
Daryl,
a cloudy moss.
Do you have to let it linger?
I don't know.
Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger?
I wonder if they can hear you.
I don't think they can. No,
There
they
you
can
go.
hear me, yeah. I thought you meant can the Cranberries hear me.
Well, let us move on to our next film, which of
Yes.
course is Super Troopers 2.
Part 2.
I hated every moment of this film. I literally despised Super Troopers 2.
That was hot.
I thought it was horrifyingly bad. There's really no plot to this film.
It's
is
very,
just simply
very light plot.
a light plot.
It's a story. It's not really a plot. It's-
Commercials have more of a plot than this film did. I just found it to be. I wanted to leave almost immediately upon entering into the theater. Like yourself, I had a private showing.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
then
literally, nobody was there.
Nobody was there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be there.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to go. Nobody has any reason to go see
Well,
this
I
film.
think it's just the hardcore fans of the original were dying for this
Okay,
movie.
okay.
They're the ones that crowdsourced this movie. They made the money back right. They made the $2 million Indiegogo campaign budget right
right,
away
very well.
to make this film.
Okay. Did you like the film?
I can't say I really cared for it
It
much.
was
I'll be
horrifying.
honest, I am not a big disciple of the original. I
Okay.
saw the original when it first came out. I remember finding it humorous. I think that film was a much better film than this one.
Okay.
If you like the Super Troopers, if you're a big fan of the first one,
No one is.
I would know. I know a lot of people that are very into this movie, like the original.
Right,
So
right.
I think you'll probably be amused at this.
No, I don't think so.
And there are moments in this film that I chuckled.
Did you?
There were a couple laughs from
What
me.
were the laughs for you?
Overall, though, I thought that a lot of the
There were
stuff were pretty
two
bad.
very big laughs for me.
Yeah.
And both of them
For me, I
were-
liked that one guy. He had like man tits. That was kind of funny to me.
Okay.
And then there was another
no,
joke
that didn't do it
that
for
I'm forgetting right now that I remember literally laughing out loud for. There were a couple laughs for me.
I will tell you the laughs.
But a lot
that
of the
I
jokes
found.
were bad.
The jokes were just completely repetitious.
It was
There
the same thing
all
over and over,
Dick
yeah.
jokes,
I know.
but just crudity. There was no humor there. There was no comedy. It
Yeah.
was just saying the word dick and
Mm-hmm.
expecting that to get a laugh. And yet on IMDb, people were giving this amazing reviews. I mean, tens and tens and tens. But
Yeah.
then again, you're playing to the audience that
That loves that, yeah.
loves that kind of.
Because the anticipation for this film,
Oh,
people
God,
have been wanting a
it's
sequel to
horrifying.
this
It was
the
just-
Super Troopers
it was
for a
god-awful.
long time.
No, just give me that sword and no.
Yeah. Overall, I can't really say I would recommend Super Troopers 2.
No.
Unless you're a hardcore fan of the
No,
original,
even if
you're
you are.
obviously going to go see it anyway.
If you're a hardcore fan of the original, I don't think you're going to like this film at all. Let me tell you the two moments that I did laugh.
Okay.
There was one particular scene where somebody is actually sitting in a chair and he's wearing a headband.
Oh, with the
that's
fly paper?
around
Yeah,
his
that was-
head
that was funny.
with the little dead flies.
Yeah.
They didn't even make note of it. Nobody just said, "Hey, he's wearing fly paper there." I mean, that wasn't really a joke in the thing. He just happened
was a
to be
subtle one, yeah.
wearing this headband, had the flies on it. I cracked up. I thought that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there was another scene. They had an X-ray, or rather a heat-seeking moment.
Well, they had
when
infrared goggles. That was
Exactly.
funny, yeah.
Brian Cox is out there and he's peeing. And
It's not Brian
wasn't
Cox.
It Brian
No,
Cox?
it was the guy. One of the characters drinks a ton of soda. It wasn't Brian
that's
Cox.
right, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy who looks like Kevin James, basically.
Yeah.
And then he farts, so we see the fart gas
That was
coming
kinda
out
funny.
in an infrared
I wish I could
gaseous
remember
emission.
the moments that made me laugh. I can't. I just remember the moments that I was cringing.
Yeah.
All of the
horrible.
overdone Canadian accents with those Mounties.
Oh, man.
That fell flat for me.
You know-
none of that to me felt real.
And a lot of
None
good-
of that was funny.
I totally
unfortunately.
agree. A lot of good people in this.
Yeah, I mean,
film, too.
there's a lot of talent
I
involved.
mean,
The
there
Broken
was some-
Lizard guys have made good films before.
Yeah.
I just felt like this was thrown together. I didn't find it to be that funny at all.
Forced
Very
laughter,
forced.
horrible.
Same joke over and over.
Over and over. God awful.
What's his
Pathetic.
name? Rob Lowe's in this. Wasted.
Let's move on.
I did like seeing Emmanuelle Chariq from Entourage. She was good in this, I thought.
Yeah.
The French girl.
No, she was good.
But overall, I would say skip Super Troopers 2.
I have to agree.
My friend Al, I know you asked me to go see this. I saw this for you. I apologize that this is not a great film.
No, it's horrifying.
Check it out on video if you're a fan of the original. I don't want you
you
to
have
go
an
see
Avengers
it.
shirt on.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I
I was
didn't
happy to
know
find
that.
that it was not a dirty
You
shirt.
did
It was
notice.
clean.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. But
You
yes,
think it's clean.
no,
Okay.
it's fresh.
is
It's
it?
fresh.
Oh, it's fresh.
So I'm going to pass on Super
right.
Troopers 2, folks. We apologize. It's not
Yeah, it
great.
was horrifying.
And I don't
Big
like to give
thumbs
bad
down.
reviews, but I really can't recommend
it. Was
it.
worthless.
I
It
can't
was
recommend it.
Horseshit deluxe.
It wasn't great.
No, this film was absolute rubbish. It was pure manure.
Yeah,
as one
it's-
might say.
Yeah,
It was
I
complete
just.
and total.
I was disappointed. I thought it'd be a little funnier.
It sucked.
But I didn't have high hopes to begin
It
with.
sucked
so.
large donkey wazoo, as
Did
one
it?
might say
Is that
in the
what you want to say?
Mexican world. Yeah.
All right, so on to our next film.
Okay.
12 Strong was recently in theaters. It's now on demand. You can watch it on
It's
Amazon
on
Video.
demand, and it's also out on Blu-ray.
It's out on
and
Blu-ray.
DVD.
Yeah,
Correct.
so 12 Strong, if you don't know the story, is basically about the first covert secret mission of sending some special operatives,
Correct.
special forces, 12 to be exact, get sent over. 12 Strong.
It's called 12 strong.
It is called 12
So
Strong.
that must
12
mean there's
strong.
like 12
Yeah.
guys.
So they're sent over to Afghanistan
They are.
a month or so after
Right
9/11.
after 9/11 has occurred.
And Chris Helmsworth is the captain of this crew. Kind of the number 2 in charge is Michael Shannon.
Correct.
Another noteworthy actor that's part of the crew is Michael Pena.
I like
who
Michael
is
Pena.
in a lot of movies
Usually
these days.
He's a
I like
comedian
him.
more than anything.
Yeah, but he's
But
kind
he
of
is
like
good.
the little comic relief that we do have in
Do
this
we
film.
have a big shout out Michael
There
Pena
is one of
over
him in there somewhere. Yeah,
There
there he is.
There he is, right there.
Michael Pena.
There's Michael Pena.
And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't initially dying to see this film. You might recall that when it first came out, I believe it came out in January, I said
possible.
I'm not interested in seeing it.
It was in the
I'm a
theaters.
little tired of the Afghan war
I
genre.
know. The war genre in general, you
In
seem
general,
to be,
I'm getting a little tired of it.
yeah, yeah.
But however, this film won me over.
It won me
I
over, too.
really liked it.
I did,
It was
too.
very well done. It was harrowing at times. Some of the fight sequences in this movie were awesome. They're dodging, tank fire while riding on horses and
no.
machine guns and mortars going off and grenades and
Well-
and there's a real good human element to it.
True.
The bonding between them, well, you can call it bonding. The best that we can call it is Chris Helmsworth with the warlord that they have to meet up with, who is a guy who's fighting the Taliban.
Right.
He's very good. That actor's excellent.
Yeah, this was a very strange kind of
He's
a
good.
plot in
And
this
his
film.
name is,
These guys
what's
literally
his name?
had to, they get to
Naveed
Afghanistan.
Nekapan.
They have to go in and kind of blow away this whole this rocket system that is there being used by the Afghans, the bad Afghans. He has to hook
Taliban.
up the Taliban.
Yeah.
He has to hook up with this kind of he's kind of a criminal within Afghanistan on his own, but he's also a thumbs down.
Thumbs
What's
down.
he talking about?
I thought you liked my shirt, VO nerd. You don't like the Avengers shirt?
No, he says nice shirt.
Then he
goes
says thumbs down. Are you just
I don't
messing
know
with
what
us? He's
he's
probably
talking
just
about.
messing
I don't know
with
what
us.
he's talking about. I don't think he knows either, but that's not the point. So okay, they had literally were given 3 weeks to do this mission.
Yeah.
They go in and.
And this is all based on a true story, by the way.
Absolutely true story.
Which was
Happened,
amazing that they were able to pull this off.
Right in 2000, I believe it was
2001.
2002.
No, 1. This was October of 2001.
Was it?
When this happened.
Literally a month after the
That's
9/11?
when because I remember they showed it in October. They had
Okay.
the date on the screen.
Right.
And that's when they were going to be going over
Okay,
there.
interesting.
So
Chris Helmsworth, he's
very capable.
Mr. Pretty Boy, I almost thought, but I thought he did a great job.
I thought
in
he
this.
was very good.
I thought
He has
was
grown
good.
on me quite a bit as an actor, I
He's
must tell
very
you.
good.
Ever since Thor Ragnarok and now this and a couple of things I've seen him in, he's really starting to become
Coming
really
to his
good,
own.
a good leading man, coming to
he
his
was
own.
very,
Yeah.
very funny. It was a movie you did not see, the new Ghostbusters.
I know, you told
film.
me he was in that, and he
was
did a very
quite
good job.
comical.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can do anything. He really is.
I'm just,
He's in that
I'm having
world
a
now.
hard time getting myself to sit down and watch that movie. I just don't want to.
I understand.
You know?
Well, it's
'cause I
Melissa
love those
McCarthy
other two.
and you know.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
not that it's the cast. It's not the Ghostbusters sequel that I wanted.
Okay.
And that's an issue I got to get over. I got to see it eventually.
It's kind of fun though.
Yeah.
It's not a great
I will
film.
see it one day.
It's not great by any
I will
means,
see
but
it.
the special effects are kind of cool at
Yeah.
the end.
That's
I kind
cool.
of enjoyed the film, but it's barely recommendable.
Okay.
I have to say.
That's what I've heard.
But Chris Hemsworth is kind of funny. He does a little.
He's like their secretary, right?
He's like their
Yeah.
secretary,
That's
and they
kinda
make
funny.
him do all his duties with his shirt off.
Oh, yeah, his shirt
and,
off,
It's
yeah.
just kind of.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a cute little thing, but Chris is getting good. There's
No,
no
he's
question
getting very
about it.
good, and he was
is-
very good in Infinity War, obviously.
Well,
he had some really good lines back and forth.
Yes.
The ongoing joke that he has with Rocket the Raccoon is hilarious.
Okay.
Keeps calling him like what?
Rabbit.
Rabbit. That was
Keeps
pretty
calling
funny.
him Rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, it's he's really good. And 12 Strong, I thought it was another good film that he's done.
Absolutely.
I was really
just to get back
surprised
to
how much I enjoyed it.
Infinity Wars just for a moment. It really is. It's not just this action-packed thing. It's infused with humor throughout.
I mean, it's probably
They're
the
just
funniest, I would say.
No,
I think I laughed.
Ragnarok, or
Well,
even
Ragnarok, yeah, that was pretty
maybe
funny.
the first Guardians of the Galaxy was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was very funny.
And the second
it's
one
tough.
too.
I just know I laughed a lot during this film.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
There's a couple characters. We see Groot once again, who has now turned to teenage status.
Groot.
Here I am going back to Infinity again.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of a kick,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
It's a blast.
It really is.
I actually wanna
loads
see it
and loads
again.
I'd go see it
kinda-
again
I would
myself.
like to.
I'd almost like to do an IMAX. I didn't do an IMAX.
No, I just did a standard
I
thing.
just did a standard shtick and went and saw it, but I would almost do the IMAX thing.
I'm proud of you for going to see just a standard
I
show.
did. I didn't want to do the
You're
whole...
usually a disciple of IMAX
I am
and 3D
indeed.
and all that
Absolutely
stuff.
true. I like the RPX. I like the sound.
Yeah.
I do like the massive 3D
Yeah.
thing. And I did miss the glasses a little bit because I could see there were some really cool scenes
I
in
could
this
see
film
how it would have lent
where
itself
looked,
to it.
really would have looked good in
But
3D.
again, it's up converted because it wasn't filmed in 3D.
Well, obviously. It's all CGI. So,
Yeah.
obviously.
No, but 3D looks better when it's filmed with 3D cameras like Avatar.
Well,
when it's
you've got
just
James
when it's
Cameron's
up
money,
converted,
yeah.
it's not as good.
Too many shots in this to do 3D camera. There's just too much work. I mean, look at James Cameron. I mean, it's been what year was Avatar? 2011.
Nine.
2009. We're talking 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Well, he's also developing new cameras for these movies now.
I know.
That's why.
It's just outrageous.
He's
So,
waiting for the technology to be where it needs
we
to be.
keep going back to
I know.
Infinity Wars because we want to go back.
'Cause
to
it's a
it.
great film.
4D all the way. He
Yeah.
says. There you go.
But 12
So,
Strong, I really recommend
I
checking
loved
out.
it too.
A big yes for
I can't say I love
No,
this
but I
film.
liked it quite a bit.
I thought it, it really just, at times it looked like a lot of grown-up guys playing army.
Hmm.
They just have the right gear and the right
Yeah.
stuff, and there were certain times there where there's bullets are flying
know.
and nobody gets hurt. And you're just saying to yourself, "Oh, come on!" I mean, there's just too much. There's too much convenience.
Well, that happens in a lot of these movies.
Movie dumb, however.
How about in those movies where the bad guys are shooting up the cops and all the cop cars
Yeah.
get destroyed and nobody gets hit, but the car,
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
you got to just kind of put that away to just watch
I
the
know,
movie.
it's very true indeed.
But overall, I enjoyed 12 Strong a lot more than I expected to.
I did too.
And as much as a fan I am of Michael Shannon, my initial reaction of him in this film still stays, is that I still feel like it was a little bit of a miscast. I still couldn't, and it's not his acting in this film. He does a fine job.
Yeah.
I can't get past him in this role. It just seemed like the wrong choice for this character.
It could be.
I can't picture him as a soldier. It just
really?
felt distracting to me.
Oh no, I didn't mind that
and
at
he
all.
did the best that he could.
I would have
It's
preferred
not his
him.
fault.
I would have preferred him in the role of the head guy,
Like
though.
William Fichtner, who was the head of their boss, the bald head, like him.
Right, precisely.
Yeah. Or what's his name, Robert Riggle.
Correct.
Rob Riggle, who plays the other guy.
Absolutely.
By the way,
Michael Shannon should have been in one
he
of those
would have been
roles.
better in one of those roles.
I totally agree.
And this is him again playing against type, which I guess I respect. But did you know? I didn't know this. Rob Riggle, who's primarily.
We don't have a picture of Rob up
There
there.
is a picture of Rob Riggle.
Is there?
He is primarily
He's
a
a
comedic
comedian.
actor.
I know he is.
I remember the first time I remember seeing him was in The Hangover. He was
Okay.
one of the cops.
Right.
But in this film, he is a tough, kind of like
No,
a
he's,
general or a
he's
lieutenant or
like
whatever. He was a Marine in real life.
I know he was.
I didn't know that.
No, that is true.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
I did know.
But overall, I recommend 12 Strong.
I do too.
Anything else you want
I
to
do
say
too.
before we
No,
move on?
Not really. I thought it was well done. It's beautifully made. It's beautifully shot. It's nicely lensed.
Yeah,
as
it's
one would
very
say.
well made. I was actually
it is.
very
It's a
impressed.
It's a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
It didn't go slow. It didn't go too quick. It
the right
was
pace,
just
I
about a
thought.
nice pace,
Yeah.
and you know, you get what you kind of want to be.
Yeah.
It just things gel and work. So
And the
bottom
significant
line.
thing about this story too is that they did a
Bottom
lot
line.
of the soldiers did a lot of their mission
okay.
on horses,
Yeah.
which is not something that's in their traditional training.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to move on.
right.
Another film that you can watch now on Amazon that was in theaters earlier this year, although very briefly,
Yes, Vanna.
was Hostels.
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 You mean the new Christian Bale film?
Christian Bale, Hostels.
There you go.
Which takes place right around the end of the 1892, right after the Civil War.
There you go.
A few years later, obviously. And he's just a captain who is pretty much at the end of his career. He's ready to retire, and he
Ready
gets
to
that thing,
retire.
one last job.
One last
He
job.
has to escort a very
vicious-
high-ranking Cheyenne chief.
Correct.
Played by the
Played by
wonderful Wes
brilliant
Studi.
Wes Studi.
Who
There's
is
Wes right
made for
there.
this role.
I'll tell you, Wes, of course, we all remember from, I believe he was originally in Last of the Mohegans.
He was.
He was, and then of course his
Dances
big
with
role,
Wolves.
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
He, whenever there's an Indian to be had or
They
to
have
be
him, yeah.
acted,
But he's been in a lot of other
Wes
things
is always
filmed.
there. He's a spectacular actor.
I loved
always
him in
loved the
Heat. He
guy.
was in Heat with De Niro and Pacino.
Great, just got that face.
He's got a
looks
great
like
look.
a road map to Willie Nelson's
does.
face.
He's great.
Got lines
Yeah.
everywhere. He's just a massive combustion of
He's
facial wear and
excellent
tear.
character.
Spectacular character.
Great character
I love
actor,
the man.
yeah.
I do as an actor. I really do.
And in this film, he has been imprisoned by the U.S. military for about 7 years.
Yeah.
And so now we find out right away, this is not a spoiler, that he's basically dying, and he wants to go home to die
Correct.
in Montana.
But of
So
course, for him to get there,
they have to
is
travel
almost
several
impossible.
states.
Correct.
So
And,
they
many
escort
of these,
him.
Many of these tribes are against each other.
Exactly.
So he needs to be taken by Christian Bale and,
and his men
And,
from New Mexico to Montana.
Correct,
And so
Amundo.
they're going through very dangerous territory, and it's all about their mission to do this and
Yeah.
how they get there. They're on horseback for probably a month, however long it takes.
Correct.
And along the way, a woman joins their crew.
She is slaughtered by.
Her family is slaughtered by
by
Indians.
An Indian
Played by
group.
Rosamund Pike, and that's in the
Rosamund-
first scene. That's not a
she's
spoiler.
wonderful. No, she's
very
terrific.
good in this
I
film.
liked her in this film.
And it's all about how there's a bonding there, and how she joins them,
Yeah.
and chooses to stay when she actually probably could have left.
No, she could have. They could have put her with a family, but
yeah.
Let me say one thing about this film, if I may. I recently watched, literally about 4 days ago, I watched Batman Begins again.
Yes.
With Christian Bale.
Yes.
And Christian Bale is, I think he's a great Batman.
I agree. I love him in the
He was
role.
tortured, and when I saw him in Hostels, I was really studying him to
Yeah.
see, well, could he go back and do another Batman film with
think he
Christopher
could.
Nolan? Absolutely.
course.
He looks terrific.
He'd be fine.
You know,
He'd slip right back into it.
Absolutely. I tell
Yeah.
you something. I really was yearning for just watching him. He's so great in Hostels.
He's very good
You
in
know,
this film. He
I-
plays
I-
another dark, tortured man.
Exactly.
You can tell he's another one of these actors that can relay to you, the audience, sadness, and you can tell that there is his character, without saying anything, we can sense that there is deep, deep sorrow and sadness in his life. He's gone through a lot. He's lost a lot of not only probably family,
Yeah.
but you can tell he's lost a lot of men. He's a guy who's just tortured, and he relays that just with his eyes
Yeah, he does.
or look.
No,
it's
he
just
exudes
such
power.
a great actor.
He exudes control. He is everything a true captain
Yes,
should be.
I agree.
He is virtuous, and he just has a great moral backbone and moral fiber
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that governs everything that he does. I like the fact, and no spoilers here, that he originally hates
Yeah.
the man that he has to.
Yeah,
the
well, there's
West
this element
Duty
of deep-rooted racism
deep-rooted
that is on display in this
absolutely.
film.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we just have kind of a meeting of the minds, and
Yeah.
this film just gelled for me.
It
I
did.
loved it. I loved the art.
I really enjoy it.
It
yeah.
was an old-fashioned. It was an old-fashioned. You know, we've seen this movie 100 times in
We
John
have.
Wayne world, John Ford, some of the great Howard Hawks films,
Mm-hmm.
where you know someone has to take a family
Yeah.
across the harrowed
plains, yeah.
Indian savage states and so forth, and get them to another place. This was just an alteration on that whole fact of taking an Indian. It's just a variation on a theme where now Christian is now taking an Indian to his home place in
Yes,
Montana,
yes.
and so forth. And I gotta say though, this movie got me.
It did. It did. It's a very bleak film. It's very very violent at times.
There's very great violence. It's intense violence, but
Yeah.
I did love the ending of the film.
Yeah, I liked
thought
it
was
too.
sweet.
Yeah.
I cried. A little tear did
did.
roll down here my face right there. You can't see the place where it rolled, but it was there. And but I really cared for this movie.
Me too. I did too.
I cared
Yeah.
for it.
Great supporting cast all around.
Yeah,
We have Jesse
absolutely.
Plemons, who is the Matt Damon Jr., and
Yeah,
he's in
yeah,
everything
I know,
these days.
albino
He,
Matt
and he's
Damon.
always very good.
He's very good.
I
indeed.
was surprised
Yeah.
to see, but happily surprised to see Ben Foster
I
show
love
up.
Ben
I love Ben
Foster showing
Foster.
up.
Another guy I've seen a lot lately is
Ben's
Rory
always,
Cochrane shows
yeah.
up in this film.
You know, we had in
Cochrane.
the last Survivor, the Mark
Lone Survivor.
Lone
Yeah, he was in
Survivor.
that. Very
Yeah,
good.
And of course, and once again, poor Ben's up against a tree. All I
yeah.
could think about that was, oh, there he is up against a tree again.
But yeah, this has a good cast all around.
It really does.
It's a very
It's
good
well
film.
done.
Beautifully photographed. There are some gorgeous shots in this movie.
We're out in the plains.
Yeah, the plane, beautifully
wherever
photographed,
They, filmed,
yeah.
they probably filmed the thing in Czechoslovakia. somewhere
I read
like
where
that.
they filmed this. They filmed it in.
I think it was another country. Was
No,
it
no, no.
not?
They filmed it in here.
In the U.S. Okay.
Yeah, I read the trivia where they
Interesting.
filmed it. It'll come to me. But it was
It might
directed by
not.
Scott Cooper, who did Black
I
Mass,
know,
which I
I
liked.
know.
Crazy Heart.
I didn't care for
and,
Black Mass.
And Out of the Furnace.
Yeah,
Great
I
movies.
know,
I,
another
liked Black
Christian
Mass
Bale
quite a
film.
bit.
Oh, did you?
I liked that film.
With Johnny
Johnny
Depp?
Depp was horrifying in that movie.
I didn't love that
He
film.
was I didn't love it, but I liked it quite a bit.
Okay.
He was a dark bastard in that
Yeah,
movie.
I know he was, but I didn't care for that film at all.
Okay.
I just didn't like
Just
the
didn't care for
trajectory
it?
of it. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me.
All right.
Didn't do a
Fair
damn
enough.
thing. But I still like Scott Cooper. I thought
He's a good
I thought
director.
he was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job on this
I
film.
thought he handled the material very
and
well.
Christian is just worth the price of popcorn
He
right
really
there.
is,
There's no
yeah.
question about it.
So
Let's
yeah, two
move
big
on.
yeses
We
for that.
love that film.
We're going to do now Winchester, which is
Winchester,
also
very
on
well.
Amazon for you to view
It
with
is
your
indeed.
eyes. Do you want to give the premise of this film? Or do you want?
I'll be happy to.
Please do.
It's basically about the Winchester house. This house really exists
In
the
California.
wondrous world of California.
San Jose, I believe.
I believe you
right?
may be right.
It's about 30 minutes east or an hour east of San Francisco.
I'd like to go there.
I'll tell you.
At the very
next,
end of
after
the film,
this, yeah.
they do say that
can
the
go.
Winchester house,
There
it
it
is,
is.
folks, is the most haunted home
In America.
America.
The next time I go out west to
I
San
would
Francisco,
love to go
I'm
there.
going.
And just to see it.
My wife, get ready. We're going
I'm
there.
telling you,
Yeah. My cousin lives in San Jose too, so it'll
really?
work out beautifully.
Do you know the way to San Jose?
I do.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
yes, yes,
dun,
yes.
dun, dun,
I do
dun,
know it.
dun, 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 dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun.
San-
Yeah.
Who sang that song?
Petula Clark. No, I have no idea.
I'm sorry, your time is up.
Who was it?
No Proctor Silex blender for you.
Thank
no
you.
matching washer dryer.
No?
son.
No chance to win
That
the Dream
song,
Vacation?
Do you know the way? It was written by Burt Bacharach. And
performed by?
And it was sung by Dionne Warwick. There you go.
Okay,
All right,
thanks
enough
for that.
enough musical trivia.
But Winchester is
Gonna go down. Winchester is
named
basically
for?
it is named for the Winchester rifle.
Yes.
And this is where the husband of Helen Mirren created this
Winchester
rifle.
Yeah.
Now there's a conceptual fact about this film that I personally didn't like. I think we've lost our people there. I think they've gone away. They've gone. They're now watching.
It doesn't matter.
They're watching someone. Play solitaire on another network somewhere. But I was a little disappointed in the element. I thought the film was very nicely made.
Yeah.
It stars Jason Clarke is in this
Who
film.
again
of course.
is in a lot of things. We just
saw
talked about
and,
him.
Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick. His Kennedy role, and he was also in Mud Swamp.
Mudbound.
Mud
On Netflix,
Swamp.
which is still a great
Still
film.
a
Check
great
it
little
out.
film. Yeah. Jason is really quite.
He's been working very consistently.
Working a lot.
I would say his breakout role here in America was definitely Zero Dark 30. After
Okay.
that movie, I was seeing him all the time.
I love Zero Dark 30.
It's a good film.
I love
Jessica, as usual,
Chastain.
obviously, is wonderful.
I would gargle her bath water. There is no question about it.
She's excellent.
I do love Jessica. There's no question about that.
But I will Winchester, back to that.
Winchester is basically about the horrors of the haunted folks who have been murdered by Winchester rifles.
Yeah.
And that's my one complaint with the film. I just found that whole element of, you shouldn't be haunted, so to speak, by the by the rifle itself. You should be haunted by the person who killed you with that rifle. The Winchester rifle, or the, you know, why isn't the man who invented the Gatling gun?
I know what you're saying.
You
yeah.
know, why isn't the man who invented the hand grenade?
That might be a
something?
artistic license. We don't know if that's really how she
suppose.
felt, because Helen Mirren is the heir to the Winchester family.
She is in this,
She
yes.
lives in this house almost like a recluse.
Lost her husband and her daughter.
And she basically spends her time remodeling the house 24/7,
Yeah.
365 days a year. And this mansion has grown into this monstrosity with hallways and doorways and everything that sometimes go nowhere. And then they'll just replace a greenhouse with another room and this and that. And so it's like this crazy Rubik's Cube that's never going to be finished.
She's
And
also
so-
a psychic medium to some extent. She can feel the presence.
Yeah, she can feel the presence of these
ghosts and
yeah.
so forth. Now, I personally have a bit of a psychic.
I know, you've told me
realm.
this,
I
yeah.
do have crystal balls.
You do have
You know,
them,
many
yes.
people have said to you, you do really? And I say, yeah, I
Yes.
do. I have crystal balls, and sometimes I clang them together, and they play stormy weather, and lightning shoots out of my ass.
Beautiful.
There was an old man from Barras whose balls were made of brass. When he
Thank
clanged
you.
them together, they played stormy weather, and lightning shot out of his ass. I thank you for that.
I'm glad you remembered
But,
that. Thank you for that.
Did I like this film? You know, it was standard horror a
Yeah.
little bit. You know,
Couple jump
out
scares.
Of, jump scare, boo, oh, you know, and you do jump because, you know, the makers of these films obviously have this down to a science.
Yeah.
How to build with music, and you know when the music is beginning to build,
know what's
sometimes
coming,
they give
yeah.
it away, but sometimes they don't. Now they're, you
Yeah.
know, these people who make these films are, and thanks to the James Wang film,
James Wan,
James
yeah.
Wan,
Wan.
films, you know, he's kind of rearranged the whole horror structure a little bit. And
Speaking
made
of
it,
James Wan, obviously who did the Saw films.
Yeah.
The directors of this film, the Spielberg brothers, also did the last one, Jigsaw, the reboot that came
did
out
they?
last year.
Oh, okay. I didn't
And they
care for
also
that
did
film.
Daybreakers, which I liked a lot.
I like that film.
I
Ethan
liked
Hawke?
Premonition. You didn't care for that film with Ethan Hawke.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a time travel film. I thought
Oh,
it was
yeah,
pretty
no,
neat.
I didn't care for that film.
They're an interesting, brothers again. They're interesting filmmakers.
Interesting. Yeah, just like the Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers who did
you know, it makes
Avengers,
sense
yeah.
that two people should be making a film. You know, do we need Donald Trump running this company, this country? We should have many people being the president.
Well, I see
no
what you're saying. Yeah.
collusion, no collusion. No
Well, yeah, a lot of times when you have these,
collusion.
yes, when you have these director teams,
No collusion.
one director is very technical, the other one deals with the actors.
There you
That's
go.
how the Coen brothers work.
Very good.
That's what they do. So yeah, this is pretty standard horror, as you would say, horror bullshit.
Horror.
But I thought that it was beautifully made, beautifully photographed, and to me, the best
was.
part was the house. As with a lot of movies, the house, the setting becomes a character. And for me, I was very interested in this house, this crazy big house. Where do these rooms go? I
It
thought
is
that
a
was-
labyrinth, if you will.
yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
was kinda cool.
I like it because that's an element of somebody's madness that you're there to, you're just going to be making this house into all these different things. And that's why Jason
Vibes.
Clarke's character is there. The Winchester company itself
No, I understand.
sends him there to assess her mental state.
Right.
Because of how she handles all this.
Exactly.
And because she has 51% share of the company,
But of course,
they
he
want her
himself is
to
an
be
addict,
deemed
yeah.
unfit to run the country,
True,
the company.
Well, there are elements of
but-
the
and
film
he was
that are
capable,
great.
but-
I will recommend the film just because I love the look of it.
It's got a great look.
It really
yeah.
has a great.
Not a great film, but it's got a good look.
It might
Yeah.
have almost looked better in black and white.
I can see that.
Let's go black and white just for a moment, and let's go back to 1963 when a great film. Talk about the house being the star of this haunted film. The name of the film is called The Haunting. Stanley Baker, Claire Bloom,
And they've
Julie
remade this a
Harris.
couple times.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Yeah, but no, they did make it again with Liam Neeson.
I remember that one. I saw it in the theater, yeah.
It wasn't very good.
Wasn't
but
great.
The original black and white film,
Yeah.
1963, The Haunting. Oh my God, what a film! I swear to God, I've seen this film 10 times.
Yeah.
No one shall hear you if you shall scream in the night.
Uh-huh.
No one will come. No one will know. There's just so many creepy moments to that movie. It gets me every single time. The house itself.
I'm gonna look that up. That sounds good.
It's so wonderful. I have
Cool.
it on Blu-ray. I'll lend it to you.
Cool, sounds good.
But anyway.
But I would give a mild
I'm gonna give
recommendation
it
to
a mild
Winchester,
up. Yeah.
based on the look and how it's a short movie, hour and 40 minutes, hour and
Something
35.
like that, yeah.
It's an easy one to watch. It's quick. It's got a couple good moments to it, well acted,
Okay.
well made. but I would not tell you to go run out to see it.
No, it's not. No, stay in to
Nothing
see
great.
it.
Well, they have to watch it at home now. It's not in
They
theaters
do
anymore.
indeed. It's
Watch it on
not in the
Amazon.
theater.
You know.
Correct, Mundo.
So we're gonna move on now. We're good to move
We
on.
should, I suppose.
Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this
Please
next film, but I
don't.
just want to mention it.
Please don't.
I don't even know if you ended up watching it.
I did not see
I knew you weren't
Andre,
going to watch
no.
it. So there's a documentary on HBO. It's made by HBO Sports called Andre the Giant, and it's all about Andre the Giant.
Oh, really?
The famous, obviously, the wrestler,
Yes.
who also was in some films. Started out in France and Europe, and then eventually got into the United States and
Big
worked
guy.
that circuit.
He's a big guy.
I thought this was a fascinating documentary on a guy that obviously I grew up with.
Okay.
I grew up watching WWF. I grew up watching The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I have great affection for the man. I think from everything that I've heard about him
Yeah.
before this documentary,
Yeah.
It was all positive. Everybody loved him.
Everybody loved
Great
the man.
guy, big heart.
Yep, absolutely.
Sadly, he was he had a lot of
Sadly,
health problems.
He had a little heart in a big giant body.
Yeah,
and that's what killed him.
Well, bad
He
knees,
was a young
bad back
guy. He was
also.
only 50 something when he died.
I don't even think he was 50.
I think he
I
was.
think he was 49.
Was
I
he?
think.
All right,
I don't think
maybe
he made it to
52.
50. I could be wrong.
There you go.
But this film really gets into him, his past, and then obviously spends a lot of time on his wrestling career and all the different people who worked with him and people whose lives he's touched over the years, and it touches on his family. And you just see, wow, this guy was truly a diamond in the rough, as they say. You know, he was the first
Hey, where's your
big
mic,
star.
dude?
It's here.
Oh,
My bike's here. Mike
Okay.
is here. He was such a big. I didn't realize that he was the first big star of the WWF when it
Literally
first formed.
and figuratively.
Yeah, and then obviously he passed the torch to Hulk Hogan, and they were
Kinda,
good
yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And then
I'll never
eventually,
forget when Hulk Hogan body slammed
yeah,
him. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I think it was in WrestleMania 3 or whatever.
One
when,
of those things.
Right before that is
Yeah.
when Andre suddenly became a bad guy, and they fought in WrestleMania 3
I know.
when he was ready to retire, and the WWF basically begged him to do it almost. And
Really?
his health was really bad. His back was
Yeah.
a nightmare for him.
All
Poor
wrestlers.
guy suffered through so much
All
health.
wrestlers.
It brings to mind what's his name, Mankind, who had tremendous pain in his body 24/7 after
the-
all the stunts that he did.
How about the Ultimate Warrior?
Ultimate Warrior,
You
all
remember
these
that
guys,
guy?
yeah.
The Ultimate Warrior. He
Yeah.
used to run in. He'd have all this war paint
Yeah, I
on
remember
and
him,
these,
yeah.
these feathered things flying off him. He used to run in. He
Yeah.
used to beat the guy literally. I'm not kidding. In 20 seconds.
Yeah.
He used to bottom. He'd
Yeah.
nail him down to the floor. He'd beat
amazing.
him, and then he'd run off,
Yeah.
and everybody would just go, "Holy shit!"
You know, if people don't realize,
it was really
it's
amazing.
a tough life being a wrestler because you guys are they tour like a
I
band.
know, and
You are
he-
touring the
yeah.
country, physically destroying your
No,
body
absolutely.
one day at a
It's a
time.
tough gig, man.
And there
It's a
was a
tough gig.
documentary, a wonderful documentary from the 90s called Beyond the Mat. And it's all about these wrestlers now, after the 80s heyday, and all the stuff they're going through and the drug addiction and the health
It's a
problems. It's
tough-
fascinating.
yeah, right.
And I know they
A
made a
lot
sequel
of
to that, which I haven't
steroids
seen
and
yet.
so forth, yeah.
But anyway, that's about it. I highly recommend check out Andre the Giant. It's a wonderful little documentary. It's
Okay.
not terribly long. Very interesting. A lot of interviews with a lot of famous people. Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon,
The usual.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, okay.
Rob Reiner's in there because of Princess Bride, Robin Wright. Highly recommend it. It's a wonderful little documentary.
Okay.
A window into a man that really left his mark.
A window into a man.
Yes. So
There you go.
Next, we're going to cover another film on Netflix called Sundogs.
Oh, okay.
Which is a film that's been on Netflix for a little bit, a few months.
Has it?
I think it's been on at least a month.
Okay.
But it stars Ed O'Neill. It stars Allison Janney.
Ed O'Neill, Allison Janney.
The main actor's name is Michael Angarano. It's the first time I've seen him.
Melissa Benoit.
From Supergirl.
Supergirl.
Supergirl herself
I saw
is in this
her.
film.
I know. I thought she was dynamite.
She almost steals the movie.
She really does.
She's really lovable in this film. She's very good.
She's so cute.
Yeah,
you know,
she's
and I
really
said to
good.
myself, I said, you
Steals
know,
her scenes.
I recognize this girl.
Yeah.
Who the hell is she? Because she's a brunette in this.
She is,
And
yeah.
as Supergirl, naturally,
Yeah.
she's a blonde. But I thought she was terrific in this
She was
film.
very good. This is a very odd little movie.
I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, it's about a guy who's almost a savant. We find right away he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
This takes place in 2004, right after 9/11. This kid himself is obsessed with 9/11.
Correct.
He's always dreamt of being a Marine. He's dreamt of, more than anything, being a hero.
It starts
Wants
as a comedy.
to be a Marine.
Starts as a comedy
And
almost.
then it gets a little
Then it gets
serious.
a little bit more serious.
Goes up and down, yeah.
Kind of takes us back into comic territory
It does,
from time
at
to time.
times. Because he's such an oddball.
He is.
This is a character piece all the way.
It really is.
This
And
guy
he's
does
very-
a good
he's
job
very good.
at
I could
playing
almost
this
see-
bizarre guy.
I could almost see a young Jake Gyllenhaal playing.
Oh yeah, I could see
his
that
role,
totally.
you
Yeah,
know?
but he's almost Rain
kind of
Man-esque.
a dark, Donnie Darko.
Donnie
kind of
Darko, yeah.
kind of a thing. But yeah, I think he played
It's
it well.
an interesting
and,
little film.
it's a
I really
great little
enjoyed it
film.
actually.
The thing that got me to it was Allison Janney. having just won the Oscar for I, Tonya,
Yeah.
Best Supporting.
Yeah,
as,
she was very good in this.
Tanya
Ed
Harding's
O'Neill
mom.
plays her boyfriend.
I thought
the
she was
boy's
kinda wasted.
stepdad, surrogate stepdad.
I thought she was a bit wasted.
She
Allison
did,
was
she
in
did
it.
what she could with a smaller role.
No reason for her
I
to
thought
be
Ed
in this
O'Neill
film.
was great in this. I liked him a
loved
lot.
Ed,
He has a
yeah.
lot to do in this film. He was good.
You know, a lot of people have typecasted Ed as not being a very bright guy because of his Married with Children years.
I know.
With Katie Seagal, of course, and then and then he's on
Modern Family,
Modern
yeah.
Family, and he's a little smarter, but
Yeah.
not that much.
In this
smarter.
film, he's a
This
blue-collar
film,
guy all the way,
He's a
but
very
he's
bright
wise.
man. He's
Yeah.
very intelligent,
Yeah.
and I thought there was great wisdom in this film, and I really enjoyed it.
I did too. It's a nice little movie.
I like this kid. He's obsessed with De Niro. He's obsessed with the Deer Hunter.
Yeah, they watch
He's
Deer Hunter every
obsessed-
night.
I
Yeah,
know.
that
He's
was cool.
obsessed with being a Marine.
Yeah.
He goes into this Marine office day after day after day and torments the
guy that's in charge
guy
there,
who is inducting
Yeah.
people into the Marines, and he begs
Played
him.
by the rapper Exhibit.
He's
He was
terrific.
good.
He was
I've never
great.
seen him act before. He's very
He
good.
didn't even look like a
Yeah,
rapper to
he was
me.
great.
He just looked like
Yeah.
a very fine black actor.
He did a good job at like
Thought he was
this,
dynamite.
playing this guy who's like tolerating this kid.
I know.
And then him and the girl, they become friends and they start
do.
surveilling people who they think might be terrorists.
Exactly.
It's an interesting little movie. It's an easy
it was
watch.
great fun.
Hour and 45 minutes
I like
or whatever.
it when he's in the office and I just want to be a Marine.
Yeah.
I want to be a Marine. So he strips off his shirt and he gets down and he starts doing 100 push-ups.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
guy's saying,
Takes off his
hey,
shirt.
hey, that's not how you become a Marine. You got to go through the training.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't work that way,
It was
yeah.
really a comic warmth.
No,
to
it
this
was
film.
it was a fun little film.
It was very well done, and
I liked it more than I thought I was going to.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. Absolutely, it's a definite biggie.
Check it out. It's on
a
Netflix.
3-star
Sundogs.
flick.
Yeah, it's a 3-star.
Sundogs. Yeah, check
It's
it
a
out.
very accessible film. It's very
Absolutely.
enjoyable.
It is enjoyable.
We're going to move on. 2 big yeses for that. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Tulip Fever.
Tulip Fever.
It's on Amazon and Netflix, starring the wonderful Alicia Vikander.
Alicia Vikander.
Who most recently was in Tomb Raider, which we
She
reviewed a
was
few weeks
indeed.
ago.
We did.
This film also stars Christoph Waltz, as well as Dane DeHaan. This takes place in Amsterdam during the tulip fever of the 17th century.
The epidemic.
This is a very niche kind of a storyline.
It is. Well, tulips in those days were almost attributed to like Bitcoin is today.
Yeah, they were very
if you will.
powerful
It's a powerful
thing to own.
and it was
Yeah.
very, very. Even though there's something that demise over time, like
Yeah.
all flowers do.
Yeah.
But there is great power in
Great
owning
wealth.
that tulip and
Yeah.
great wealth, and it is literally they have these bidding wars.
They
at the
do.
local
Yeah, that was
pub,
kind of interesting.
And I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, it was
I
an
love
interesting world.
I just love the look of the immersion into that
The little world, yeah.
Back set it, there's like a canal there.
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
It was just awesome. I love the look. Alicia
Yeah.
Vikander is so good in this
She's very good in
movie.
this film,
She
yeah.
is magnificent.
She's married to Christoph Waltz. He's a rich guy,
Well,
businessman.
okay, correct.
And then she starts having, this is not a spoiler, she starts having an affair with a guy who's brought in to do a painting of him and
guy
her
from
together.
Valerian, what's his name?
Dane DeHaan.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
And he was, of course, in that great movie where he
A
goes...
Cure for Wellness.
A Cure for Wellness.
Great little movie.
I love
yeah,
that film.
check out A Cure for Wellness if you
Yeah.
haven't seen that film. Directed by the guy who did the first couple Pirates films, Gore Verbinski.
Okay.
Gore Verbinski. That was a
Check out
cool little
Valerian.
film.
Check out Valerian also. I like
Yeah,
Valerian.
Dane DeHaan from this film
Yeah.
stars in Valerian, Luc Besson's film.
Right.
It's a gem that nobody talks about. It's a great
You know,
little sci-fi
he's
movie.
a strange-looking kid.
He's
He's
odd.
got these
Yeah.
jeweled eyes that
Yeah.
are just
Yeah.
mesmerizing. He's a good actor.
And his co-star in that film, her name is Cara. I can never say her name. Cara Delevingne. She's also in Valerian.
she was
She's
in
this as well.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Right.
Oh,
A major role in that.
I didn't care for her character in that film at all.
I didn't either. But
I didn't like that
I like Suicide
storyline.
Squad. I do. I know you're not a big fan
It's
of that
okay.
film.
I just thought that film was a mess.
I have the 4K film
I'm sure
of
you
it,
do.
and just for the hell of it, I'll put it on and I'll watch it to the end every
Okay.
time. I watch it like every
That film
eight
could have
months or
been
so.
something, in my opinion. It
could have been a contender.
The problem with Suicide
Instead
Squad,
of a bum, that
it's
which
just
it
like,
is.
oh, okay, here's a whole bunch of these characters that most people, mainstream people, don't really know who they are.
Yeah.
They're not particularly that interesting. And the Joker, who you want to see more of, and you don't see enough of him.
Oh,
and I
Jared
just
Leto.
didn't
Yeah,
care
I
for the film
understand.
that much. I
back to
appreciated
Tulip,
that it was made. But
okay.
yeah, Tulip Fever, it was an enjoyable film. I
Yeah,
liked it.
I
It was
liked it a
a love triangle.
Absolutely.
You have a little comic relief from Zach Galifianakis,
Yeah, he's
who was a
quite,
surprise
amusing.
for me. I'd forgotten
Judi
he was
Dench.
in this.
Judi Dench
She
shows
plays
up.
a nun at the head of an orphanage,
ain't
right?
got none, can't get none, don't want none.
Yeah.
She's there also.
Yeah, she's in this film.
There's a, you know, it was a surprising little film.
Yeah,
Just
it
that,
was. It
you
took you
know,
by-
It
surprised,
kinda
like
took
you
me by
said.
surprise. I just and
And
Christoph
I'm
Waltz.
usually not a big period piece fan, but Christoph Waltz and Alicia
Yeah.
Vikander were the draw for me because I like them
love
both.
this very bizarre thing that these guys wear back in
Yeah,
those
I believe I have a
days.
picture of it. It's like this
Yeah,
this
I don't know if you
big
got it.
collar,
Can you
an
go to Tulip
accordion
Fever?
type collar.
Yeah, it's like it literally looks like
Very
a
like
doily.
Shakespearean.
There it is.
Yeah, it's like a doily.
doily sash or
It
something.
can't be comfortable
It's
to
like
wear.
a circular thing
Yeah.
that goes around their head. It's so bizarre.
Very
looking.
strange.
It looks almost clownish.
It
at
does,
times.
yeah.
It's so strange.
Very
and
strange attire.
unique, and I just felt so uncomfortable
Yeah.
looking at, and they're being painted.
Yeah.
You know, this young kid is a painter.
All rich
who-
people had portraits painted of
Exactly.
them.
Well, those
and
are
this kid is like a
those are the-
very prominent painter.
Those are the photographs
Yeah.
of the time. They had no
Yeah.
cameras, obviously, so everything had to be taken down
Yeah.
in watercolors and so forth, and oil painting.
I gotta say, if you think about it, wardrobe and lifestyle in general was pretty freaking miserable up until about the 1950s. Clothes was restrictive, especially for women. Clothes were very hot. We didn't have air conditioning. People didn't bathe as much.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much showering being done. So
Yeah.
people were smelly and miserable pretty much all the time.
Listen, I got to tell you, I shower once a week, whether I need it or not.
Thank you for that.
You know,
and I'm happy that it's on Tuesdays.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You know,
I don't have to put up with that odor.
I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable.
Thank
But,
you for
whether
that.
I need it, sometimes you don't think you need it.
Thank
but
you for
a week
that.
goes by, and actually, so there you
But
go.
anyway, I highly recommend 2 yeses here, I guess, for Tulip Fever. Anything else you want to add before we move on to our last film?
I don't know. Shall we move on to our last
Yeah,
film?
we're
of
going to do a
course?
flashback, like we
Little
said, to
flashback.
Westworld, the original Westworld film.
Yep, correct.
That obviously
1973.
has inspired the TV show on HBO now.
It has indeed.
The original film, written and directed by the wonderful Michael Crichton. May he rest in peace.
Man who wrote Jurassic Park.
Yeah, prolific writer.
I know.
Congo, Sphere.
Yeah.
He wrote Coma, directed the film Coma.
Correct.
Also, The Great Train Robbery, which I never saw, which I want to see now
you
that I
should
saw
see
the
that.
cast.
Sean Connery.
Sean
Great.
Connery.
Stanley Baker.
And another big star is the lead in that. It's Sean Connery. And there was another lead figure that I was like, wow, they did a movie together.
Okay.
Of course, now I don't remember who it was.
Elliot Gould.
But no.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe he's in it, but he's not the main lead.
think he is in that
No,
film.
no, there was somebody else that caught my interest. I was like, oh my goodness,
Don't
Sean
look at your
Connery.
phone, dude. Not
no,
while you're on
I
the
have to look
air.
it up because that would
That's
be
cheating.
It would behoove me.
You know, we lost the Ned. We
Oh,
lost
Sean
everyone.
Connery and Donald Sutherland.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
pretty cool.
All right. Very good.
But anyway, the original Westworld stars Richard Benjamin and Yul Brynner and James
does.
Brolin.
James Brolin is in it,
the
yeah.
father, obviously, of Josh Brolin, who we covered tonight.
This truly is, if I may say. Now, first of all, it's not just Westworld. They have.
They have the other worlds that
they have
are-
medieval
yes,
world,
yes.
and they have Roman world
They do,
also.
yeah.
And those are also encompassed
Part of the
within
park.
this circular
Yes.
world that they have created, etc.
For the rich.
You know something? This film, however, with Yul Brynner at the end, just being this relentless killing machine,
Yeah.
this really is the precursor to the Terminator all the
Pretty
way.
much, that's what he is. Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
the Terminator
he's
in
the
this film.
Terminator.
Yeah,
He
pretty
is,
much.
you know, he's after Richard Benjamin, and
Yeah.
he's not going to stop at anything.
Yeah.
And when did the Terminator come out? That was like 79.
No. The original
70?
one was
Yeah.
80. I want to say it was 82, 83.
Was it the original
Yeah,
Terminator?
yeah, the original.
Okay,
82,
so
83.
we're talking 8 years
82,
later.
83, 84.
8
Let's
years
look
later,
it up right now.
James Cameron
Yeah.
did the Terminator, and I swear it is the same character. It is a relentless machine who is in pursuit to murder and kill.
84, yeah, 1984.
All right,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, pretty much that's what he is in this film. He's a relentless
yeah, I mean,
force.
he is a relentless killing machine
Yeah.
as he becomes because of a defect.
Yes.
Once again, this is just simply the Frankenstein.
Pretty much, yeah.
The whole theory where man creates beast,
And it
beast
comes back to
turns
haunt
on
us.
man to kill him.
And if you think about Jurassic
uh,
Park, same structure. Go to this beautiful park. Problem. They're coming after you.
Right. Yeah. Now, once again, the creatures have turned, and
Exactly.
you know,
This film is
who
very- I
is
will
the
say
true
this-
monster? Is man the monster,
Or is it the monster we created?
Well,
Yeah.
the man is the monster who has created the beast.
Exactly.
As we are now doing in our technical world of creating
right.
computers that are now watching us.
Everything we do.
With you know,
Which
Alexa and
and
Siri
Echo, all
and
that
Echo
stuff.
and
Yeah.
all that jazz.
Which brings us right to Black Mirror.
They're coming,
which is
they're
a
coming
very
after us.
It's a prophecy, that show.
I tell you,
You know, it's a warning.
You are correct, sir. I was on my phone the other day and I mentioned I went searching for something on Amazon. Next thing you know, I'm on Facebook and the ad appears for that item that I
Yeah.
was searching for.
I'm telling you, the phones are listening to us, and that's one of the main reasons I One of the things I got rid of the Facebook app on my phone is because of the privacy. But I'm telling you, I have a million examples of this. The most frightening, I was hanging out with my friends a few months ago. We were just talking about movies. And I believe we mentioned John Wick or something, whatever, just randomly, quickly.
Gotcha.
And I'm not joking, within 10 minutes, I got an email on my phone from Amazon. John Wick, now available on Blu-ray.
I'm not surprised.
They're listening.
They're listening. It's so
And that's
true.
just Amazon.
Yeah.
So amplify that towards NSA, all that stuff. Everything is being monitored.
Know, our phones are our Frankenstein.
These things
it's really
are
true.
definitely going to be our undoing if we're not careful.
If we're not careful.
This film is entertaining, but
And
it's
we're not very
extremely dated, this movie.
I know.
You look at it now, it's
but-
almost a tough watch.
I didn't find it a tough watch.
I enjoyed it, but
enjoyed
it's definitely dated for me.
You know, it's 1973,
It's
obviously,
very,
but
I guess for 73, that's impressive stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah, looking at it at 73.
You know, there was a sequel to it called Future World, which I have not seen yet.
I did not see that. I'd like to see
Peter
that.
Fonda's in
Yeah.
that. I'm going to have to see that shortly.
However, think about this. 1968 was 2001. Look how well that holds up.
Well,
that was a
that's a
good
beautifully
5
made
years
piece
before
of
this.
work. Yeah, I
this
agree.
is obviously different budgets.
No, true.
Nobody can get the kind of budget Kubrick could get back in his heyday when he was God.
Kubrick, yeah.
Kubrick can get whatever he wants. So that's why that movie looks so good. That nothing was.
It does look
no
beautiful.
expense was spared.
Well, you know, he was just.
and he's a brilliant
he's
genius
just a
anyway. I mean,
brilliant
that movie
man.
was.
I mean, that
if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had Star Wars and a million other things.
Very possibly so.
Because I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey all the way through for the first time, I think in 2010. Because I'd seen it when I was a kid, but you don't really, you don't register a lot of things as a kid. So then I watched it as an adult, and I was floored by this movie.
Really?
I was so blown away by 2001. It was amazing.
No, it's an amazing piece of work. It's a little long. It's a little boring. We have a lot
little
of,
bit,
you know,
yeah.
na 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 na.
Speaking of
na,
that, James Cameron was just quoted as saying he doesn't like 2001 that much because he felt that it lacked emotional balls. To quote him, that's what he said.
But that was the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was this
But Cameron
monolith
can
that
just say what
appears
he
out
wants
of the
these days.
blue.
Yeah.
And it was also the cover of the Who's Next album when they all went and pissed on the monolith on
interesting.
that album. But I love 2001.
I think it's a great film.
visionary piece of work. Not only that, they actually the apes at the beginning of this film.
Yeah.
They thought they were real apes. They tried to actually give an Oscar for animal training, but those were actually men in ape costumes.
It doesn't look like a real ape, though.
It is a real ape. I mean,
No,
they're
it's
not real apes.
I know, but I'm saying I never thought that it was real.
But the Academy people did.
Back then,
They wanted to give an award for
I
animal
guess back
training.
then maybe it looked great.
They thought
but
they were real.
with our eyes now looking backwards, it didn't look as real.
You see them now, but it is what it is.
But back to Westworld, though, it's worth watching. I would recommend seeing it once.
True, it's just
if you love the TV show for fun, go check out the movie. You know, because the show now is expanding on all the ideas that
and once again, it's the same shtick. It's the Frankenstein.
movie presented.
You know, that's what's happening on Westworld
This is just
this
darker,
season.
darker stuff on
it's
HBO.
darker. The machines are turning on man. You know, I'm
extremely
I gotta
well
say,
acted, but I know it's a slow show for you.
It's so slow.
It is a very
I
slow
love
show,
Evan Rachel
Westworld.
Wood. She's a great
And Ed Harris
actress.
is fantastic.
Ed Harris is wonderful.
Everybody's excellent.
There's something
Fanny
about
Newton,
this film.
Jeffrey Wright.
I know.
I love the characters.
I fall asleep at least twice through watching
I did
this
too
show.
the first season,
And
not
this-
because I wasn't liking it.
And the first show, I fell asleep.
but it's a great show.
Watched the second show last night.
Yeah.
Fell asleep.
I got to catch up with it. I didn't watch this week.
Only for a moment or so, and then I came back and I was very in tune. They're really emphasizing the Evan Rachel Wood character.
Yeah,
and
well, she's definitely going to have a
wonderful.
much bigger arc this season, I think.
She's great. I'm very sad to see that Anthony Hopkins is kind of not so much in here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't
believe
think he was going to
died
be
at the end of the first
Yeah,
season.
spoiler,
or so.
guys. Sorry if you haven't
Spoiler,
seen
he
season
died at
one.
the end of the first season.
But anyway,
Little
that's
righty
fairly
then.
it.
I think we're about done.
Next week we'll cover more films. I got to check to see what's opening this
Probably
week.
one of our more boring shows. But
But
anyway,
I wouldn't say this was a
sum it
boring
up.
show.
I don't think so
No,
either.
so
but,
why would you say that then?
I don't know because
Because you have a complex. You think everything you do is awful. You hate yourself a little bit.
I do.
That's because you say it all the time. Because you're what, English and German?
I don't know. Yeah, I am English and German.
Yeah.
I do hate
You have a
myself.
self-deprecation
and I like to get
to
bombed
you.
every once in a while.
Good for you.
But I don't hate myself. That's not it. I'm just overly critical.
I know.
And I like to
But
think that we've. Tonight I didn't feel the comic urges as much as I normally
It's okay.
do.
But
You
remember,
know,
this show's also about insight. It's
I
not
know
just
it
about
is about
comedy. I say this to you
insight.
probably every
Yeah.
week.
And my insight
I
is
like
is
just presenting a
maybe-
straight show once in a while.
All right, there you go.
We'll do more craziness next week.
We'll
I mean,
do more craziness next
believe me,
week.
with you, craziness is not that far off.
I know, it's so true. You did wear your Iron Man mask. So
I did that for
I think
us.
it went over like a lead
Yeah,
balloon.
my wife and stepson encouraged me to, so I said, okay.
God bless them.
I'll bring it
God
out.
bless those
Why
people.
not? It also does this. Does this? It talks too. Hang on. I
We
thought it
heard
had a
it.
voice. All right, never mind. I thought it talked.
I think you used the voice, didn't you?
I don't think. Maybe
No,
I did.
maybe don't.
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
Anyway, folks, we're going
Not
to probably
important.
say goodnight
Well,
right now.
Let's do a quick recap if we
Oh,
shall.
you wanna do a recap?
I want to do the recap. Let's start at the very
We'll do a
beginning.
verbal recap.
We loved Infinity Wars.
We loved Infinity Wars. Of
Absolutely
course we did.
divine film.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
Please go
film.
see the Infinity Wars. It's such a great
Two huge
piece
yeses
of
for
work.
Infinity
It's
Wars,
just
yeah.
magnificent.
It's
It is
just a killer- it's a
tapestry.
killer movie.
It is a magnificent
It is.
piece of escapade.
It is.
Of escalate. It's epic proportion.
I
It
would say
truly
it's a
is.
masterpiece in the superhero genre.
It really is.
It really
There-
is.
there's just
It's
no,
incredible.
no-
In my opinion, I think it's the best out of all of the Marvel films so far.
you?
It might be my favorite. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just saw it.
I don't know.
But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay.
It's definitely better than most of them. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's just
it might not be
so
better than the Guardians,
all-encompassing.
but it's just got everything.
It's all encompassing.
Yeah,
It just
because they've all got moments that maybe are a little slow.
They threw
this keeps
so
you going.
much shit up against a wall,
Yeah.
and it all stuck.
Yeah, I agree.
It really all stuck.
We're
Yay,
going to
yay
give
for
you
Infinity War.
2 no's for Super Troopers 2. You can pass.
horrible film. Don't see Super
bother.
Troopers, please, ladies
Don't
and
bother.
gentlemen.
2 yeses for 12 Strong.
Absolutely.
We both like 12 Strong.
3-star film, nothing
strong.
more, nothing less.
No, but it's worthy.
It's a
It's a
solid
worthy
piece
3.
of entertainment.
Worthy 3.
It got a little bit routine for me from time to time. It couldn't. I would
That's
almost
the
like.
genre,
I'd like
you
to give
know?
it a 3.5 kind of star out
Yeah.
of 4, but I can't.
We're leaving it at
because
3.
It just was a little routine to
Yeah.
me. I've seen better war films from the 40s.
Yeah.
I've seen better war films from the 60s. I've seen. There's a
Saving
certain,
Private Ryan is a better war film.
there you go.
I mean, that's a standard,
Well,
a
that
current
is a
standard, I would
classic.
say.
That is a classic.
We're going to give 2 big yeses for Hostiles.
Absolutely.
Christian Bale.
Loved it,
Another
loved it,
great
loved it.
Western. Again, that's
Hostiles.
also available on Amazon, just like
Nay,
12
nay,
Strong was.
says our horseman, Mr. Super Trooper, the O-Nerd, right
Yes.
there.
We're going to give a mild yes for Winchester, which you can watch on Amazon,
I'll
just to
give a
remind
mild
you.
yes to
Mild
Winchester.
yes. It's
Yeah.
a beautifully photographed film.
It's very
the house
nicely-
is a character in itself.
Hey, it's beautiful looking.
It
The
is a beautiful
color,
looking
I
film.
mean,
Yeah.
if you're into the aesthetics of a film,
You'll enjoy that.
And also Helen Mirren is in the
And
film.
she's great. She's very good.
And she is awesome as Mrs. Winchester,
yeah,
no question.
Yeah, she's very good.
And Jason Clarke
He's good.
also,
He's capable.
he's
They all
wonderful.
do a capable job.
Now the kid, there is a kid in this movie who plays.
Yeah, he's good. His name
kind
was
of-
Finn Skikluna O'Prey. He was
Well,
pretty good.
Let me tell you about this kid real quick. That kid is in the new, he's so bizarre in the new Twin Peaks
Okay.
of 2017, The Return of
Yes,
Twin
yes,
Peaks
yes.
by David Lynch.
Does he have a big part?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got a
okay.
pretty big part, and he's a psychopath.
Wow.
And he's
Good little
so
actor.
great.
Yeah.
And he's very, very fine in this film also.
Yeah, he's good.
He's the main protagonist,
He
if you
is,
will.
yeah.
And there's great quality there within.
No, I agree. He's a future-
He was the main.
A future
thing,
leading
if you
man
will.
probably ahead of us
Yeah,
here.
it's, absolutely.
I recommend
Reminds me
it-
of Paul Dano a little bit.
A little bit, a young Paul Dano. I
Yeah,
can see
a little
that.
bit.
Who's also great.
Who's also very young in his own right.
He's in his. I don't know, he might be 30 now.
Yeah,
he's
so
not
to
that
say
old.
a young Paul Dano, I think this guy's probably the same age as
No,
Paul.
he's not. That little kid is probably under 15.
No, I'm not talking that little kid. I'm talking about the ghost in this film.
Oh, see, I thought you meant the little kid.
No, I'm talking about that guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you said the little kid in this movie. There's a little
No,
kid.
I meant to say.
You're
my mistake.
talking about the guy that's in his 20s.
The servant.
Yes, the
He's
servant.
The servant.
He was in Destination. No, yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Now,
I
what's
knew he
his
was
name?
in Twin
What's
Peaks.
his name?
I think it's. You know what? I don't know if I wrote his name down.
Oh God.
I think I missed. I think
Uh-oh.
I missed his name.
Well, there you go.
Sorry, guys.
We better.
Anyway,
hire
he's
the
very
hand-
good. I'll
We
pull
like
him-
to give the handicapped
I'll pull him up
a
real
job
quick.
here. That's why we.
Dude,
hire.
you do this sheet
We
and tell me if you won't
hire
forget a
Chris
name once in a
every
while.
week to help us out. Okay, so
Anyway,
we're good. Winchester, we like Andre the Giant.
I'm going to recommend Andre the Giant on HBO. It's a
Okay.
good documentary.
Very good, sir.
We both like Sundogs on Netflix. A
We
cool
did.
little movie.
Both love
little
Tulip
dramedy.
Fever. Tulip Fever, I love. 3.5
like that.
stars all the way.
I'm going to go 3 for me, but
I'll
it's a
go
good
3.5.
film. Tulip Fever's on Netflix and Amazon. You can watch it on both platforms. You can watch Westworld on Amazon too. I say
Westworld?
watch it once, no
There you
more
go.
than that.
Very well.
And that's our
All
show.
right, folks, that's our show.
We'll see you
We-
next
we
week.
bid you adieu.
Same
to you and
banter
you
time,
and you.
same banter channel.
The O-Nerd, we hope to have you back here once again.
If any of you guys want to reach out to us during the week, filmbanter@gmail.com.
Reach out.
If any of you have YouTube in your
I'll be
country,
there.
check out some of our old shows. We're pretty soon going to give you guys here
Thank you,
a
O-Nerd.
bonus episode with some greatest hits on
You
there.
know, the O-Nerd, I love
and
having
thank you,
here.
the
I
O-Nerd,
really
for
do.
watching.
Honestly.
Thank you, McPick. Thank you, Pergy. Thank you, everybody else that watched
Where's
the
Calamity
show.
Jane when you need her, though?
She's probably on a shoot somewhere. I don't
She's
know.
probably out, you know.
But we applaud you for watching us. Thank you,
We
guys.
applaud you. Great show
And we
as
will
always,
see you
you
soon.
guys. Thank you, Mr. Onad. We do appreciate you.
Thanks for
truly.
coming.
All right, we'll see you next week, guys.
Be well, guys.
Road. Yeah, going down. Yeah, Mr.